Hello, hello. I hope you have had a wonderful day. It's 5:30 on the East Coast, so I wanted to remind you, I just talked about this morning. I am gifting everyone for a limited time the playbook that I have created, Achieve Your Goal Life. It's about target practice for your goal life. I just love the energy of this time of the year. But I have to be honest, as a life coach, I also it saddens me because year after year I watch people get excited about this time of the year, and I watch the excitement fade. I watch them renegotiate the standard. And I don't want you to be in that number. You know, it's great to be excited. It's great to feel good about what's possible as we stand on the edge of a new year. But let me just share this with you. Excitement is not enough. Motivation is never constant. You have to have a game plan. You have to have, my husband, go baby. Hey, sweetheart. You have to have more than excitement. And that's why I created this playbook, because especially for people of faith, our playbook and our rules are different. So this playbook includes prayers. It includes encouraging you to keep God first. And I want to talk about how you discover your why. You know, it's very popular. People will say, you got to have a why. You have to have a strong why. But being in this coaching space, what I know is that sometimes it's a struggle to determine your why in your current season. And because our seasons change. You know, I work with women where their children have gone to college and they're having to reevaluate their why because their children don't need them in the same way. I also work with women who they have newborns, and so their why is very different, and so they may have to renegotiate what they how they spend their time as it relates to what they used to do before they had a newborn baby. So, as I said this morning, over 100 people since this morning to now have downloaded this playbook, but I want to read a page, actually page 7 for you. And it says here, what is your why? Can you see that? So I want to give you some of the questions that it has. And the question I ask is, what comes natural to you? What's natural? What do people compliment you the most about? How do people describe you? And so this is a little homework for you. You can text 2 to 3 of your closest friends and ask each of them to send you 3 words to describe you. Okay? These are just ways, these are questions that I ask you so that you can get to your why. What's your purpose? What are you good at doing right now in this season? And then question number 4, I want you to think about this. I want you to my husband says it's upside down. I don't know why it's upside down. My mom says the same thing. I don't know what's going on with that. Question 4 says, if God grants me a long life and I'm on Good Morning America being celebrated for my 100th birthday, what do I want them to say? What am I known for? So you got to forecast ahead. And then the last thing, if you had all the money, energy, and time that you needed, what would you do? That's all on page 7, okay? And that's going to help you get to your why. Because it's important to have a why that's so compelling that it leads you to a by any means necessary mindset. So let me give you an example. My maternal grandmother had this scar on her leg. And I remember asking my mom, you know, how did Mama, I called my maternal grandmother Mama, just like I call my mother Mama. I know, confusing. But anyway, so I asked her that, and she said that there was a point where a tractor was rolling towards my mom's oldest brother. They grew up on a farm, and my grandmother literally stopped the tractor. She ran over and stopped the tractor because my uncle was in danger. And as she ran over to do that, there was a pitchfork down on the ground, and she stepped on it perfectly to the point where it went into her leg. But she didn't stop. She was able to move my uncle out of the way and then take the pitchfork out of her leg. And I never forgot that story because it demonstrates what you'll do when you have a compelling why. That's the adrenaline of a mother, okay? And that story, not that you'll have the same story, but I hope it helps you see that you have to have something similar. You know, in that instance, the safety of my uncle for my grandmother was beyond the pain she had to endure. And that's the same for you. The thing that you want and that you know that God is calling you to do, it has to go beyond your comfort, and you have to be willing to have the pitchfork. You have to be willing to endure some pain, okay? And that pain most likely is going to be more emotional pain of having to endure discomfort or to go without. You know, for those of you who want to get in better shape next year, that pain will be the pull of the cravings. The pull of, you know, coping with food and having to cope in another way. Okay, so these questions on page 7, and I'm going to post the link. Let me do that right now. I'm going to post the link, but those questions are on page 7 for you. And once you fill those out, you will be able to really, your why will start to take shape. And then what I have on here is, if those 5 questions don't trigger a solid why for you, I recommend fasting and praying. Go to the Lord and ask for directions. And ask for the mind of Christ to show you what is your compelling why. Okay, so my internet's taking a little while, but I'm going to post the link in case you didn't download the playbook this morning. So after you go through all of that, I'm going to read one more page for you. I have you guys sign what I call your covenant agreement with your divine design. You have a divine design. There's only one you. And this is what it says at the top. I have Luke 9:23. Okay, my internet came up. Let me post the link real quick, and then I'll read you guys the covenant. And if you have any questions, post them below. But, okay, so I just posted the link. If you haven't downloaded the playbook, it's up. And this is going to be free only for a limited time. It's not going to stay free, okay? So this covenant agreement with your divine design, this is where I want you to come into covenant that you're taking this seriously. Year after year, I see people renegotiate the bar. What I mean by that is they start out saying, I'm going to write that book, I'm going to get myself back online, and I'm going to date, and I'm going to find love, I'm going to start that business, I'm going to get this weight off. They make all of these declarations, and they're excited about the end point. And then I watch person after person renegotiate the bar. I watch post after post where people rationalize their way. And I say rationalize, L-I-E-S, because they're lies. They're lies that the enemy convinces us to use to make us feel like we don't have enough, that we're not strong enough to lean into that discomfort and to get that by any means necessary mindset. So I'm hoping this covenant will help you, because you can post this and it can remind you of what's at stake when you renegotiate the bar for your purpose. So it's Luke 9:23. Then he said to them all, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. That's where I got that information about, you know, when I shared with you that you're going to have to be okay to not feel okay all the time. We live in a society where we're pleasure seekers, and we don't understand that appropriate discomfort is the only path to what God has for us. Why? Because it's in pushing through resistance that we have the character traits that we need to develop for that new season, so that when we get what God has for us, we can keep it. Okay, so let me read a little bit more of the covenant. I will pay the price that's necessary to step into the fullness of the divine design that God has destined for my life. I know that not fulfilling my destiny will leave me feeling shortchanged and will compromise my ability to use my life as a testimony of the favor and power of God. I understand that my life's divine design will be reached one choice at a time, looking to the Lord for my strength, guidance, and direction. And there's more, okay? This is page 12. You'll see, I understand this is backwards, my husband says, but that says covenant agreement with your divine design. So, this is the last surprise that I have for you guys, the last gift. So in addition to this playbook, being complimentary for a limited time. Just go to the link and download it. What I'm going to do in the next couple days for everyone who downloads the playbook, I'm going to do a live video session where we go through page by page and we fill this thing out together. And you can get your questions answered, because I don't want you to be in the 95% who will not, hear me, 95% will not reach their goals next year. How do I know that? Because statistically, 95% didn't do it this year. I want you to be in the few. I want you to be in the narrow path. And to do that, you have to go beyond what this world is convincing you that you need. You need more than excitement. You need more than a vision board. You have to include the Lord in the journey. And you have to include a daily practice of focusing on your target. That's the big reason I have this target at the bottom. Maybe you can see this. It says Word of God, prayer and praise, work within, work out. And then at the bottom, the target is purpose. I don't know if you've ever played with darts, but it takes a lot of skill to get that bullseye, right? And that's what I'm really inviting you to see, that you need a playbook so that you can get that bullseye. You don't want to be all on the periphery like a lot of people, like most people. So I have the link. If you guys, I'm going to hang on a few more seconds and see if you have any questions, if you've downloaded it already, if you want to ask me anything while I'm on here. We have Bible study tonight, so I'm about to head out for that. I'm excited to hear a word from my favorite pastor. So I'll hang on. There's a little bit of a delay. Hey, Stephanie. Let me see who's on. Stephanie's here, leaning forward. Hey, Diane. Hey, Lee. She got her playbook. Welcome back from Cabo. Lee is the travel queen. So if you guys need travel plans, please see Lee Coleman. Julietta. Hey, lady. How are you? Diamond Dixon. Hey, lady. Good to see you. Hey, Lauren. Just talked to Lauren. Hey, Tiffany. So if you guys have any questions, let me just see if there's anyone else joining. But I'm so excited. I'm excited because what I know to be true is that when you have a playbook, you know, at least then you can't rationalize your way out of your destiny, because you'll have something to evaluate and look at it. It's not about a perfect straight line. This playbook isn't going to make you perfect, but it is going to make you progressive. And that's the whole point. There's so many people who are going in circles. They make these declarations and they fall off, and they make the declaration, they fall off, and they stay in that cycle. Some people for life. And I don't want that to be you. I want the rest of this year to be your preparation. I've been reading a lot in the book of Esther, and there's so much preparation that goes into getting ready for the season that God has for you. And so many times we just want to talk about, you know, she was called for such a time as this, and how she saved the nation. But what happened before? And that's the same thing I'm asking you to consider. There's something that has to happen before you go into all of the promises that God has for you. And this playbook is going to help you get to the root of those things and walk you through in a systematic way. I don't mind being excited, but I want you to be equipped. Okay, so let me see if I have any questions. Oh, Diane says I'm printing my copy now. Yay! Go Diane, go Diane. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to keep this free forever. I'm not. What I'm learning, this is new in my coaching practice, is that, you know, I'm learning to reward people for taking action, and to also have a consequence for people who don't. You know, because I think that reflects, you know, how God treats us. And I'm trying to make my life more and more a reflection of the way, you know, God would want me to show up. You know, Lee says, thank you for the travel shout out. Everyone is invited. Yes. Okay. Do travel right. That's right. That's what it is. I couldn't remember what it was. So thank you for posting that. Hey, Amanda, worthy of love. I know that's right, girl. Hey, Tracy. Hey, cuz. So I don't see any questions. So I look forward to our interactive time together, and you'll get the details for that after you download the playbook. Like I said, over 100 people have it already just since this morning. So you might want to get on board, because there's some of us who are going into everything God has for us. No excuses, no rationalizations going on, no renegotiating the standard. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. And if you're doing the thing, I want you to say, I'm doing it. Post that below. You need to make that declaration. I am doing it. I'm not just going to be excited about it. I'm doing it. All right. So I don't see any questions. So Amanda says, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks to everyone for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll be talking really soon as we go through all 26 pages together, so that you can get ready for 2016, and more importantly, close this year strong. So my husband said, I'm doing it. I love it. So you guys have a wonderful night. If you have any questions, if you think of something after I get off the phone, my dog is like about to knock over my camera. If you have any questions, I'm here for you, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Know that I can't do what God has called me to do without you, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much for allowing me to serve. And I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.